Good morning. It is Thursday, February the 6th. Welcome to D Scraps, E Scraps. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Scrappy D. Well, another yuckadoodle-dandy morning here in Connecticut. However, yesterday, in anticipation of the weather going to be very poor, I made a ride out to Bethel, Connecticut. I live in Stratford, and Bethel's about 45 minutes out. Really nice area, very pretty, a lot of farms, really very nice rural area. I like it out there a lot. But I figured I'd better get out there and at least try to get one truckload of all this equipment that I have from that storage locker that I bought. The gentleman was really, really nice. He helped me load the car up. I've got 4 more loads to go. But he gave me the keys and told me to go at my leisure, which is going to work out really well. So I don't have to tie him up, and I don't have to rent a truck. I can just use my pickup truck. So one of the things I did pick up yesterday were Cisco servers. There are a lot of these in the bin. One thing I found with servers is no two will be the same, even if they're from the same rack, so to speak. I took apart 2 this morning already. This was the first one. Got some nice gold fingers here. It had a processing card that goes there, but not a lot here. Really nothing here at all. This basically is a computer motherboard. Each module of the server has a different function, so each board is custom built for that piece of the server. So this one obviously was more of a computer. I had some RAM sticks, I had some processing cards and things like that. The other one I took apart already was this one. It's a really nice high-grade board. A lot of chips here and there. Cisco usually makes a pretty good board, but it's not uncommon to find dead zones on the board because the client didn't need whatever went here. They didn't need it, so it wasn't put onto the board when the board was ordered. So even though they are server boards, they're not identical. So you have to unscrew all of these, take off the ears. That's what holds the server onto the rack, and it should just lift off. This is a duplicate to the one I just took apart. Wow. Not a heck of a lot here. Essentially, this is going to be an integrated motherboard. I don't even know if it can go server grade. It doesn't have a lot on it. It's got a battery, so we gotta get the battery off. You know, I always tell you guys to do that first. Both nickel cadmium and lithium ion batteries will start a fire, and when they get shredded, and that's just not a good thing for either the refiner nor the people who work there. So please take those out. I have seen loads be refused because the seller did not remove the batteries. See, they take these and they throw these into a shredder, and all of the precious metals are separated by weight. Just a little bit of gold. Okay, so I just took one of these apart, so hopefully I can get through this without a whole lot of difficulty. These servers can be a little bit more difficult to take apart than a computer. You'll have risers like this. These just unscrew. These I already know they're steel. I tested them with the magnet. Sometimes you'll get stainless, sometimes you'll get brass. So you'll get the risers off. It was disappointing. I didn't even get anything extra here. It's a computer motherboard. That's what I'm going to sell it as. Wow. That was disappointing. So you got to get all these screws out. These are all steel. There's no aluminum or any stainless screws in these units. I already checked. Oops. Be careful when you snip these spring-loaded holders on, because they can snap up and hit you. It is icy, snowy, and in general just very messy outside right now. I'm supposed to go to the doctor's at noon, but I'm waiting to hear to see if they even open the office yet. Kind of really didn't, because I'm a pretty safe and pretty careful driver, and I drive a big 4x4 pickup truck. But I don't care what you're driving, if it's icy, you know. I don't know if you saw that, but it went that way. So always cover up. Well, not even a good processor or a good chip. Wow. A lot of nice flat packs. Some gold flashing, some gold connections. Really not a lot here. Wow. That sucks. Oh well. This is why I've learned not to get excited just because it says Cisco on it. So I'll take these C-clips off after and get a couple of pieces of clean aluminum. That was disappointing. There's a boatload of screws on these things, and if you miss even one, you're not going to be able to get the board out. Really? Gotta be one, huh? I actually think my drill bit might be getting a bit worn down. Oh yeah, so it's not a nice day to be out and about for sure. So I've got a car full of computer components, a lot of IT equipment, a lot of servers, a lot of power supplies. But I'm really having a little bit of a problem with the backlog. My usual is to process stuff, throw the casings into the pickup truck, and take them off to the scrapyard just to keep the mess out of the yard. But right now, I'm running into the problem of, because of the weather, I can't get the computers out of the car, so the back of the car is full. But more of the problem I'm having right now is the yard is paying less, like 2 cents a pound for shred. This case will be considered shred. I've got a car full of it. I'll wind up making $3 or $4. So it's just, it's almost a waste of my time. But I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and bring it just to get the mess out of the yard. This is interesting. This has coaxial jacks in the back. So this is a 4300 series. This is the third one I've taken apart today. As I said, they're made to certain specifications, so you just never know what you're going to get. Life's like a box of chocolates, you know, you never know what you're going to get. And that's all I got to say about that. I can't tell you where that's from, or I might get a copyright strike. I sat on that very bench in Savannah, Georgia, where that scene was filmed. Savannah's very pretty. It was Civil War. Sherman had just burned Atlanta, and he was about to march in and burn Savannah, but they surrendered, and he spared the city. So Savannah, Georgia has some of the most beautiful pre-Civil War architecture. Really, really just a lovely, lovely place. But I digress. So I just gotta get all these screws out. Server boards can be a pain in the neck to get out. They're designed to, I mean, they shouldn't be difficult to get out, but there's just a boatload of screws. So the only reason I'm leaving the video running is not just to take up time, but I want to make sure you see where all these assorted screws are. So when you go by a warehouse full of servers like I just did, you too can take them apart. E-Waste Ben is very good with taking apart servers too. Now I gotta get the other screwdriver for that. I know the last one I did. These would be for a hard drive caddy, or the other one I did had a card like this sitting in that slot, processing card of some type, or possibly a graphics card that was sitting right here. So there's room for additional components. This doesn't say anything other than what series it was. You know, people say, well, why don't you resell them if they came from a working environment? Well, that's true, they work, but they're old. So, and if you're buying a server, you want something that's going to process a lot of data and process it fast. Well, the computer isn't going to be able to do that as quickly as a newer one. That's what this guy I bought these from actually does. He upgrades IT equipment, and then he cleans out the old stuff, and he resells it to people like me for a song and a dance. I don't really mind paying a few bucks for it if I know I'm going to make a few bucks. Otherwise, I make no bucks. He gave me a nice break because I'm helping him empty a storage unit. This time of year, I don't really get a lot from the schools because of the way their budget and fiscal year runs. They won't get new equipment till the summertime. That was a bugger. Come on. Come on, you. Get out of there. As I said, I just did one just like this, so it's kind of fresh in my memory. I actually wound up deleting the video because it took me way too long because there was just some reason I couldn't get the board out, and I hope I don't encounter that again now. I shouldn't. Boy, there's some nice gold pens. I don't know if you can see those. Boy, those are some beautiful gold pens. Look at that. I might just take those. Shh. It's okay if this comes off. It's fine. You actually have to break off these brackets to get the board out anyway. These are like a caddy, like a kitchen drawer slide that your computer parts slide in and out of. So how's the weather where you guys are? I hope it's better than what I'm getting here in Connecticut. There's a screw here in the front that I missed. I think we all got very spoiled because we had very mild winters the past couple of years. And boy, this winter, Mother Nature's reminding us why we all live in Connecticut, I guess. Or that we all live in Connecticut. I don't really mind, it's just a pain in the neck because I can't get stuff done. It is what it is. By the way, I did get approved for the mortgage and I am going to be purchasing my mother's house. That's where I am right now. Mother passed away last year and I just purchased the home from the estate. I grew up in this house and I'm very happy to be able to stay here for a while. Everything good in life that happened to me happened here, so I'm not in any hurry to leave. My family's here in Connecticut. Her grandchildren grew up here, so I miss her. It's not the same without her, but it's peaceful here. My neighbors on both sides are really, really nice people. You know, you don't give that up any too easy because there's some real bozos out there. Okay, let's see. I might have to get this out. I'm not sure. On top of everything, I've got a big cut across the top of my thumb. And boy, every time I touch something or twist something or turn something, it makes sure that I know it's there. Okay, now this one, this bracket will lift up and the whole board will come out theoretically with the bracket. Just make sure I got all the screws. There's a couple of screws. There's one here. I think there's one back here. And one over here going this way. And that held this bracket in place. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. Oh, I know there's a screw under here. I couldn't see it from where I was sitting. I couldn't see this piece. Okay. A lot of wasted space, huh? I would presume one could add things to the server. Alright, now let's see if we can start working this board loose. Going to get the power supply out of the way. These would go together like one of the old stereo systems. You know, the old rack system, you'd have your tape deck, you'd have your CD player, you'd have your amplifier, and they'd all be in a big rack. And you could add and delete whatever it was you wanted to do. Well, rack servers are like that too. Except they cost a little bit more, eh? Well, this is different. I don't know how many rack servers actually are in this storage bin. I saw quite a few. Alright. Let's get the power board out of the way just to give myself a little more literally wiggle room. Because to get this board out, I'm going to need all the wiggle room I can get. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to take that off. Going to make a liar out of me, I know it is. They're not as easy as taking apart PCs, that's for sure. Boy. See, I know it's a little bit long and a little bit tedious, for which I apologize, but I did want to show you one complete server being taken apart. So when you do this someday, you're going to know where everything is. I have taken, more than once I have taken the angle grinder to the case to shear it apart and get the board out, but that's not something I will do in my kitchen. Mother would come down from heaven and smack me one. Probably father too. I do have a local yard who is buying the junky wire at 49 cents a pound and is buying the power boards at, I think, 20 cents a pound, which is not really a lot of money, but if I just took them and throw them into shred, well, then I'm getting less than a penny a pound. So with the amount of product I generate, it's probably worth it to load up the truck and make the half-an-hour trip out to Meriden to try to recoup some of the funds. You got a comparison shop. It sounds funny, but you really do. Get a comparison shop. Not where to buy, but where to sell. Let's see. By the way, I should be wearing gloves. This stuff is really, really sharp. Oh, I'm not really going to do much with this power board. I might nip these copper windings. I might nip that transformer. But the rest of it is just going to go right into power boards. Just like it is. Again, just because I have so much e-scrap I have to get rid of. Okay, now let's find out where the holdup is, huh? Nothing in the corners. Just going to go back and see if there's any screws I missed, because the board is not coming free as easily as I would like it to. You can pull these extra little things off and out of the way, again, literally to give yourself some wiggle room to wiggle the board free. Board free. I'm just going to throw that in with low grades, I think, lower mid-grade boards. Every little bit helps, right? This weather, I can't get anything done, and It is what it is. The mess is making me very nervous. I'm probably going to wind up taking a lot of it to my storage bin and storing it there. I have a lot of bins, and what I've done is I've marked them with all the different kinds of e-scrap, cast aluminum, light iron, whatever it is. And what'll happen is I'll just go to the storage bin and pick up what I need. Otherwise, you know, the house is going to get ahead of me, and I don't want that. For sure. As I said, I just did one of these, and I did it off camera so that I would be able to get this one apart quickly. There's a screw here, here, and here, but they're attached this way with the screw body here. So this is attached to the board, and this bracket should just lift out and take the board with it. Keyword should. Let's see if I can get anything else off here. I'm really not seeing anything else. I'm going to flip the board over and look at the bottom. I don't think I saw any screw heads on the bottom. Hey, you screw head! Like I said, these can be super, super, super annoying to take apart. So, there's a good possibility I'll put this one aside if I can't figure it out on camera. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Okay, there's no screws here. There's none. No screws here to be interfering. There's no security screws. I'm gonna. So let's go around and gently start prying this board up and see if we can loosen it from the case. They do say that these gold pins are catching. See if we can just get them up and over. Okay, I popped that. There's a little pin there. Yeah. This is going to do to me exactly what the last one did. It's going to annoy the heck out of me. I think the hardest part of this is getting the dang board out. Yeah, it's this thing right here is catching. Look at these inputs here. I took the other one out. I forgot to take this one. Let's see if I can get that off of there, because that is catching. You know, I could take them on a computer. I could take a computer apart in about 5 minutes. Not a server though. They're a pain in the ass to take apart. What I'll do is pull this up. Just give the board some room. Just give the board some room to breathe. There's starting to look good, kids. This is a separate board by itself, and this should come up with the rest of the board. Whew. Sorry guys, this video got ridiculously long. This bracket should pull this board up because the board is attached to the bracket. I think I'm more afraid I'm going to break something. Okay, this connection is now severed right there. So there was a connection here and here. And finally, whew, it's free. A lot of work for a stinking motherboard, eh? I've only got 20 more of these to go. So, again, I'm going to sell this as a green motherboard. Probably an integrated motherboard. There's no CPU per se besides this little bit of gold finger here, and this is really just rubbish. So, even though it came off of a server, I would never call this a server grade board. It just isn't. There's nothing on the back really. There's a little bit here, but no. I'm gonna throw that in with green motherboards, because to me, that's what it is. It had RAM. It had a battery on it. It had RAM, and it has an integrated built-in CPU. Not a lot there to warrant anything more. Here's another quick. These are those brackets. This is connected here, here, and here. So you got to get those off. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this fella. Wow. This is why I'm thinking of snipping, because I'm going to sell this as a much cheaper board than server grade, because it's just not. I might snip those, and I might snip the other ones. Usually I don't snip expensive boards, but when is a server board not a server board? When it's a rubbish board like this one. Alright, so yeah, so I'm going to take these gold fingers. I'm going to take, I'm going to probably take those, I'm not sure. And I think that'll be it, and then I'll just put this in with, I'm going to put that in with green motherboards. There's just nothing to warrant this being a server board. Nope. That sucked. Alright. See you in the next video. And here's how those come out. So this is a separate, these are additional ports and additional cards. And there's not a whole lot on here either. This is just another mid-grade board. Nothing outstanding. Wow. Some tantalum capacitors, some IC chips, couple of flat packs, and some type of CPU under there. Not much. Yeah. That was enough fun for one morning. Catch you next time. Stay wonderful.